Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to transform one of your most used trading tools, the watch list, from what is, let's be honest, often a source of stress and impulse, into a powerful tool for calm, systematic discipline. Okay, so let's just dive right in with a critical question. I want you to take a look at your current watch list. Is it just this long, scrolling list of temptations? Is it constantly pulling your attention in a million different directions, kind of encouraging you to just do something? If the answer is yes, you're not alone, and we're about to fix that. See, here's the thing. Most watch lists are built like a shopping cart. The impulse is just to keep adding more stuff, right? More coins, which leads to more clicking and more improvising when you're under pressure. We are going to completely rebuild it into a decision engine, a system that's actually designed to reduce your decisions, to filter for only your best setups, and to enforce real discipline. And you know the drill. A quick but super important reminder. This explainer is for educational purposes only. It is not financial advice. Digital assets carry a pretty significant risk of loss, so please always do your own research. Okay, so where do we start? The entire foundation of a calm, effective watch list begins right here, with one crucial concept: defining your A setup. This is the absolute non-negotiable first step. Now, what's really interesting here is the way this is framed. An A-setup isn't just a good pattern. Think of it as your official written permission slip to risk your capital. If you don't have this permission slip filled out, you are not allowed to place a trade. It's as simple as that. And here's why that matters so much. Unwritten rules are just suggestions. And what happens to suggestions under the pressure of a live market? They evaporate. That's when you start to improvise. And improvisation is exactly how those costly mistakes, those C trades, happen. So how do you actually write it down? Well, by using a simple worksheet just like this. For every single trade idea, you have to define the context, like is the market trending up, the trigger, like a break above yesterday's high, your invalidation, which is the exact price where you admit you're wrong, and finally your execution and no trade conditions. If you can't fill this out, guess what? You don't have a setup. All right, so let's see how this A-setup idea actually builds into the watch list itself. We're not creating one big, long, messy list. We're building a carefully organized system that's designed to filter out noise and focus your attention where it matters. Your first tier is small, it's focused, and it's powerful. It should only have maybe 5 to 10 core assets that you know inside and out. These are the most liquid, stable assets where you can get clean execution. This is your primary hunting ground. Next up is Tier 2. Think of this as your bench. This is another set of 5 to 10 assets you're watching. Maybe they have interesting narratives or price action, but you will only, and I mean only, consider trading them if the conditions are absolutely pristine, even cleaner than what you demand for Tier 1. And finally, we have Tier 3. This is your library, your research lab. You can have an unlimited number of assets here. This is where you learn, you research, you observe. But let's be crystal clear, it is never a place you execute trades from. You only promote an asset to a higher tier with clear, deliberate intention. And this right here illustrates the power of the whole system. It's one simple, unbreakable rule that just eliminates hundreds of potential bad decisions right off the bat. If an asset isn't on your pre-approved, vetted lists, it simply does not exist as a trading opportunity for you today. End of story. So, you have your A setup defined and your list is perfectly organized. Now, how do you actually interact with it? This is where the scan protocol comes in, and it's designed to protect your mental capital and avoid that dreaded decision fatigue. Forget staring at charts all day. That just creates anxiety and encourages you to force trades that aren't there. Your new protocol is ruthlessly efficient. You scan your list just twice per day, and you limit each scan to a maximum of 15 minutes. That is it. And during that 15-minute scan, your job is not to look for opportunities. Your job is to ask one simple binary question for each asset in tiers 1 and 2. Is my predefined written A setup present? The answer can only be yes or no. This might be the single most powerful rule for stopping overtrading. If you look at a chart and you think, well, maybe that's the setup, or it's almost there, the answer is no. Any hesitation, any doubt means the setup is not perfect, so you just move on. No exceptions. Finally, let's talk about the last piece of the puzzle. This is your ultimate line of defense against impulse. These are the rules that protect you even when a seemingly perfect A setup appears on the chart. This is such a critical mindset shift, you know? We spend so much time defining why we should get into a trade. But professional discipline, that's built on knowing when you absolutely must refuse a trade, even when it looks super tempting. These are your personal guardrails. For example, you might have a perfect A setup, but you refuse to take it if the bid-ask spread is way too wide. Or if the price impact on a decentralized exchange, how much your own trade will move the price, is too high. You define these deal breakers way ahead of time. Ultimately, what are refusal rules for? They're designed to protect you from yourself. They block those moments of weakness where you might be tempted to chase a trade despite poor conditions. And that's what saves you from those unnecessary losses. So let's put it all together. This 4-part system, it works in harmony. You start with a written ASAP. You organize your assets into a tiered watch list. You interact with it using a disciplined scan. And you protect yourself with that final layer of refusal rules. This is how you build a real decision engine. And really, that's the goal. This system isn't about finding more action. It's about finding higher quality, less stressful trades. It transforms trading from a frantic search for opportunity into a calm, patient process of execution. So, are you ready to make your trading, boringly effective? And before we go, just a final important note for everyone watching, especially those of you in stricter jurisdictions. Please treat this as education only and make sure you follow all your local rules. This explainer is for educational purposes only and is absolutely not financial advice. Please be aware of the inherent risks in any market and always do your own research. Thank you so much for watching.